prime. Troy. You know, this is actually kind of crazy that I'm going to admit this, but what killed my golf career was Fortnite in its prime.
I'm tight with the Mexican Luca, Victor Valdez.
Sure.
Mexican Luca. I had to do it. You're from Ames, basically, right? You grew up kind of in Ames because your dad was at Iowa State.
Yep.
Christian just said it. You and Taman Lipsy grew up being boys, right?
Yeah, we played on the same AAU program, and I said it earlier, but he was a year younger than us, so he was first grader on the second grade team, and he was the biggest dude on the team.
Crazy.
Best player by far. And now me and him are the same size, but he's still better than me.
Small guards do it better. Short kings.
That's right.
On the basketball court, at least.
That's right.
We're the same height. So.
Yeah.
Exactly. Wait, so he was the biggest player. You said he shot a lot of threes, too? Which he doesn't do either of those things now.
I mean, he was literally in second grade and can make threes off of his knees. Like, he's been a stud forever. Shout out Taman.
That is great. And you guys were golfing buddies, you said, too?
Yep, we golfed. He was a pretty good golfer. He wasn't as good as me. That was what I wanted to do initially.
Be a golfer.
Early in high school, I wanted to be a college golfer.
You still can. What's your handicap like?
Scratch.
All right. Well, you might be onto something now.
Yeah.
If the NBA, at some point, the NBA guys love to golf, though, so there you go.
They do.
That's your in with LeBron.
Why were you
100%.
not thinking hoops? Because you didn't think you were going to be tall enough, or you just liked golf better?
I liked golf better at the time, and then, you know, this is actually kind of crazy that I'm going to admit this, but what killed my golf career was Fortnite in its prime.
What, you were playing too much?
It was the summer, and I didn't want to golf anymore. I just wanted to play Fortnite all day. And I just was like, I'll switch over to basketball because I basically missed the whole development of golf.
You said, I'll switch over to basketball. That's crazy. Well, you kind of grew up in the basketball family, though.
Well, I mean, I always played basketball. Basketball was an option, but golf was kind of number one for a while.
Okay.
And then got addicted to Fortnite for a little while and decided basketball was the better.
So you could have been in the Fortnite World Cup for all we knew.
That wasn't that good. No.
Then you gave it up quickly.
Yeah.
All right, so it was your idea to walk on at Nebraska. I know you've told this story, I feel like, multiple times. Your dad was like taken back. He was like, sure, I guess. And I know you've talked about how the pandemic kind of hurt your recruitment at schools like Colgate and getting D1 offers because they were keeping all their other guys. They had extra eligibility, so they weren't recruiting freshmen. So you had no D1 offers, and you told your dad, I'm just going to come walk on at Lincoln.
Yeah, so I was getting talked to like Boise State, North Dakota State, but they never really got to watch me play just because of COVID, and they couldn't go and visit and watch games and stuff. And, you know, Colgate was the one that I really thought I was going to get. I went to their elite camp like my sophomore year of high school and then never got the offer. It's just waiting on it. And, you know, I started to really love Lincoln and thought about what I could do to get better. And I was thinking, what's better than playing against Big Ten players for a couple of years? And then was initially going to think transfer after a couple of years after getting better. And then I got a lot better. I really fell in love with basketball. Like I said, I was big into golf. But when I got to college, I like really fell in love and started working a lot harder and then saw the huge jumps in my game and got the opportunity, never looked back.
I mean, shit, you averaged like 9, 5, and 4 this year, and you're 5'11", and we see how hard you work. We were talking earlier, you're saying about how low he gets and how hard he works on the glass. You're in the dunker spot. Like, talk to the children out there that are the size that we are and tell them how to get to the place that you are besides just hard work, because you are legitimately an unfathomable. You're the glue guy of the year. I called you glue guy of the year because you're amazing. You're amazing at it. So
yeah, I mean, I'll say this, like, I know I had a really good opportunity with my dad being the coach and getting on a team, but something you can control, like if you're a kid trying to play, get D1 offers, is always be the hardest playing player. Like that was consistent throughout my career. And, you know, I'd piss guys off in practice just because I was going too hard, they thought. And that's what set the standard at Nebraska now, why we got so much better, is because everyone came with that mentality and just wasn't going to be outworked. So it's really just, if you want it more and you play harder than guys, like good things will happen. And that's where I got noticed for all the little things and why I got in the lineup. And that's when I started getting better and got more opportunity just because I did the little things and played harder than everyone.
it's crazy to look back and like think you're like, wow, I had no D1 offers. I said, I'll go here. And then now you're essentially like basically an all conference level player. You're going to the Sweet 16. Like this year must have been everything for you, right?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, this is what you dream of, is playing in March Madness and, you know, especially at Nebraska, because that was the goal, was getting the first tournament win. Like that was the most important thing that you could possibly do for the program. Every time you go out into Lincoln downtown, people are saying you got to get that tournament win. Like people didn't care that much about basketball when I got there.
Yeah.
And just being able to do it for my dad and do it with my brother Charlie on staff has been unbelievable. And I never expected to get to this point. But, yeah, I mean, what I did this year was literally what I dreamed of growing up.
Something I loved about watching Nebraska this year is your complex offense you run, which is very different from a lot of teams, and defensively, another unique scheme. What is the challenge of getting everyone on the same page with that and just getting better at it as the season went along as well?
Yeah, I mean, it's very complex, and offense is a little bit more free flowing, and like you got to have high IQ to play in our offense, and we had a bunch of high IQ guys this year, but like the defense too, we have so many just unique rotations that guys aren't used to. You can't let a guy drive middle or the whole defense breaks down. So there's a lot of discipline and a ton of learning it takes, and that's why our defense has grown every year, is because we've had guys in the system, and I've known it for 4 years now, and like it just kept getting better because guys knew where to be and knew the rotations became easier. But yeah, it took a lot of learning, and that's why you're seeing these jumps now, is because we all got used to it.
Yeah, I mean, you played a no middle scheme. Like I remember watching like 2021 Baylor, Texas Tech before that. Those teams that do it, and I feel like your dad has done it for more years before this, previous years, but it hasn't worked because the guys haven't been right. Maybe you're saying the experience, continuity, and kind of understanding of it. Like at one point, it just clicked out of nowhere. It was unbelievable. The 2-point percentage you guys were letting up, the way you guys defended the rim when you're not that big, you weren't like a crazy athletic team either, and you're playing in the biggest and oldest, most athletic conference in the country, in the Big Ten. It was crazy, and like you guys, like you were a part of that, taking charges. I can only imagine. Do you count your charges, by the way?
Well, we used to, but with the new rule that came in a couple years ago,
you
can't really take charges.
It's
and
ridiculous.
That was one of the best parts of my game. Like if you watch me when I got in the lineup my first year, like they didn't change that rule yet, and I was taking 2 charges a game. I was getting so many charges, and then we changed it from taking charges to basically wall-ups, which is like when you go vertical and don't foul. And that's what we track those.
Makes it a little more challenging for you, though.
Yeah, 100%. Especially being small, like charges were a key to my game, and I had to figure out new ways.
Quick detour into the charts thing. I want to talk to somebody who's so involved in that. So, what do you think of the rule changing? What, in your opinion, should the rule be to make it so that offensive players can't just barrel into guys, but we also don't have situations where guys aren't even trying to play defense; they're just trying to draw a foul?
Yeah, I mean it's tough. A lot of times, I think. I mean, people get caught up with the foul baiting stuff, but the guys that are really good at drawing fouls are just really hard to guard, and they put you in tough positions. But, like, I wish the charge rule didn't change because I took a lot of charges. And, there's one call this year that I won't bring up right now, but I think it would have been a charge in the past. But, I mean, I wish you could take charges still. I think it makes it a lot easier for the offense. But, I mean, it puts refs in an easier position too, which I think is fine. Like that's
they just auto call it a block. If
right?
They don't
Exactly. Yeah.
Any contact, it's crazy. Speaking of tough guys to guard, who's the toughest player you ever had to guard in the Big Ten? Because I feel like we talked about all these Big Ten guards earlier. You've played against so many of them at this point.
Yeah, I mean, as a scorer, I would say Bruce Thornton. I mean, just the shots he makes are unbelievable. That guy's insanely talented.
Yeah.
And then Braden Smith, just the way he gets the ball to the pocket and pick and rolls, like you just can't do anything about it, and that breaks down your entire defense. But there's been so many good players. I mean, Jameer Young was so fast, and
Jameer Young was nice.
But I would say probably Braden and Bruce Thornton. Jordan Pope was tough. He was really good at drawing fouls. I remember a couple times. This is back when he was at Oregon State.
Yeah.
Like he'd be driving and you get a hand like on his body, you grab your hand and pull it up with his shot, and you're like trying to get your hands away, but he pulls it up and the ref calls a foul on you, and I'm like,
that's so
he's
tough.
Grabbing me. I promise.
Find that clip.
But,
like the foul baiting era of like that is now. It's a manipulation. It's a mental manipulation. Players that do it are intelligent. They're smart. But like watching it as a fan, it is brutal at times. And I watch defenders like yourself where if you slide and you're at the spot, but they just swoop up where your fucking arms are, like you're just like, what am I supposed to do? Like, what in the world am I supposed to do? Is it frustrating for you at times?
It's definitely frustrating, but you have to get used to it. You have to adapt. Like our whole philosophy on defense is to keep your hands up for that reason.
Just don't move. Yeah.
When like it's high level stuff to be able to grab a guy's arm and go up and shoot it. So like that's why he was so hard to guard. But yeah, I mean, shoot, I should try to master it, I guess.
Yeah.
Can we dive in a bit more to your work ethic and growth as an offensive player? Because I think a lot of smaller guys becoming a knockdown three-point shooter is probably the best way for them to produce for their team. And you shot 38% this year, but not on super high volume. You were great at getting to the basket. What was that like of just getting better in practice and on your own to just be able to score inside the arc so much at your size?
Yeah, I mean, a huge thing for me was gaining confidence just as an offensive player, because the role I was in the past few years was keep the ball moving and stay spaced. But this year I had the ball in my hands a lot more. And, I've always been a pretty good driver and could finish, but I'd never really figured out how to get in against, 7-footers and go finish. But, I mean, big credit to that guy off the screen, Satchel. We worked on change of pace a ton. That's huge for just creating space and getting to the rim, and worked on my ball handling a ton. But, yeah, I mean, you got to find angles. You got to be crafty when you're smaller. And I do a good job of extending my arms on finishes just to get it out of the range of shot blockers. But, yeah, I mean, I made a huge jump in confidence, worked on my game a ton, and obviously it paid off this year.
Nice. That's awesome. We're asking everybody before. Actually, one quick thing about Nebrasketball, as we call it, obviously. Going forward, first tournament win, they go to the Sweet 16. Obviously, what could have been even more, but it's the best year in program history. Now that a few of you guys are going to leave, what is next for them? How do they take it to the next level with you losing a lot of their big players?
Yeah, I mean, I'm really confident in the foundation we kind of set. This has been going on for a few years, and we've just steadily improved. Last year was a bit of a fall, but we've got a really good culture now, and that standard is there. And you get guys like Price Sanford, hope to get him back.
He's a literal demon.
Unbelievable.
I don't understand. I've never seen a player consistently no dip three like that.
Yeah,
it's ridiculous.
He's ridiculous. And we have Cale Jacobson. I think he's gonna make a jump like I did this year. I mean, he's in a very similar role to me, and Berke is a monster. Brayton Frager also so talented, but we have good players that we are gonna probably get back, and then you got to get a few guys in the portal like you always do, but you leave it in a spot where guys can take over the leadership roles like Price and Cale that can teach the guys the offensive and defensive schemes to where it can just take off.
Yeah. All right, last question. Is PBA the best place to play in the country, or the toughest place to play on the road, I guess, for other teams?
Okay, I'll say I feel like I can't say that because we lost a couple times at home this year. It's the best environment.
That's what I'm saying.
We didn't protect it as well as we should have.
Okay.
But the other ones on that level are Mackey.
They didn't protect shit there.
They didn't protect it great. So, yeah, I mean, I would be comfortable putting PBA in the top.
Where else have you been outside of the Big Ten anywhere that's compares to PBA and Mackey?
Well, Paycom Arena where the Thunder play.
I have never seen that in my life.
That was nuts.
For a neutral site game or even any kind of game ever. I was like, what? They said it was they broke the decibel record that the Thunder had at the finals. It makes no sense to me.
Broke it easily with Husker fans. It was nuts.
Crazy.
That was the loudest arena I think I played it.
That was crazy.
Yeah.
One bonus question. Can we talk a little more about Brayden Frager? I'm super high on him. What kind of growth have you seen from him since he arrived on campus, and how high do you think his ceiling is?
Well, he was 17 when he got to Nebraska. He reclassed, and I don't think we really expected him to be as good as he was out of the gate, and it was almost the plan to redshirt him from the jump. And I think if they didn't have that plan, he probably would have played minutes for his last year even. But that redshirt year helped, obviously, with developing and learning the system and everything. And I mean, he's so talented. Obviously, freak athlete, shoots it, and he's smart too. And I think the sky's the limit for him. I think he's an NBA player for sure. So yeah, you hope to get him back and just keep him getting better. But yeah, I mean, he's an unbelievable player.
He's a Lincoln native. That makes it so much sweeter. Mm-hmm. It's crazy. It's a Taman Lipsey story.
Yeah,
that's exactly what it is.
Totally is.
So hopefully he gets 4 years and he's amazing and does wonders like that. So all right, Sam Hoiberg, appreciate you for stopping by, my man. All right.
Thanks for having me.
Sweet.
Ryan. Troy.
Yeah.
Come on. No disrespect to Troy, but
I mean, they were awful. They looked awful in that game. They looked terrible. You guys kicked the shit out of them. Listen, hand up, first of all. That's on me. And it's so irresponsible because of how much I gassed y'all up throughout the year and how we got connected and all. I was like, when the game at halftime, I was like, what the fuck was I thinking? I was like, I have watched this team all year long. I love them. It was the last month and a half of the year that you guys struggled with Big Ten play, but I way overthought that because you guys were so good before that. It was so embarrassing to me because I was like, I cannot believe I did this. I picked fucking Troy. To be fair, I liked the matchup a little bit because they would just get up shots and you guys that was the way to expose you guys in some ways with the no middle defense. And who was hurt? What's his name? Theo Sang, one of their all-conference players, was hurt. He came back for the tournament. I'm like, you know what? there might be some fire with this 13 seed, and I was so wrong. So, formal apology. Do you accept?
I accept.
Word. There we go, Nebrasketball fans.
Ryan is a protector of the game of basketball, and he's the one telling everyone about how good the mid majors are and that they deserve love.
Sure.
He just got caught up a little bit in the moment of the mid majors.
Didn't you
You
pick Troy
did too.
Oh, me? What? No, what?
So did Adam
Did
on
I
screen.
pick Troy?
You're not safe either.
I want to make it very clear that I initially had Nebraska, and then I was like, you know what, Ryan, you talked me into Troy.
Great. Guess what? You're like all the people on social media when they say, dude, like I got this pick wrong in my bracket because of you. Wait, I didn't tell you to pick it. Like, yeah, sure, I got it wrong.
I had him at you.
In this case, that happened.
I
I'm
didn't tell
tight
you
with
to
the
pick
Mexican Luca, Victor Valdez.
Sure.
it. Mexican Luca.
I had to do it for Mexican Luca.
Dude, wait, yeah,
It was in the scout.
Y'all
He's
turned
nice.
him over a little bit, you know.
You know what? I'm picking Troy again. Fuck it. That's on me. And I'm actually happy the way you guys won because it was easy to be like, oh, wow, that was really dumb. It wasn't like the game was close and I was like, damn, you know, like maybe I was kind of close and I'm sitting on a little bit. You guys beat the shit out of them and I was like, great.
Yeah,
Good for them.
you were
And it was awesome to see you guys win. It was so
dead
damn
wrong.
cool. And then go to the Sweet 16. Like, it was, I've never seen anything like that in the tournament before. It was so damn cool.
That was
Yeah.
also garbage that you and Vandy should have both been like 3 seats in my mind. To put you guys in a
Vandy,
4 or 5 is
seed
crazy.
insane. He was a big Vandy guy.
They're
this
really
year.
good. They were really good.
And them and I were like 2 matchups of teams that are like really good 5 dribble pass shoot guys.
Yeah.
Which is like
Tyler
Obviously
Tanner's
so
shot,
much
by the way.
Oh my god.
Holy fucking shit.
So I was contesting him,
That was you.
and I literally I back off. I'm not gonna foul him in the situation, and I turn around. I'm like, please don't look good, and it is dead on line when I turn around, and it was like slow motion, and it goes down.
You thought it was in, right?
Thought it was in, pops out, and you can see my reaction. I don't even react for a second because I'm like, I didn't register that it didn't go in. Then I just screamed. Yeah.
That ball, the ball was literally like they have a screenshot of it off the broadcast. Or a different angle.
Yeah, I saw it.
Half the ball was under the rim. Like,
Yeah.
That has to count for like a point and a half. I feel like at that point.
It was the overinflated basketballs.
Is that you?
that's
Or
what
were they that
Peyton
bad?
Sanford said us.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if that's it, but they're a little overinflated.
I don't know if that was. I mean, maybe Otego Away did have one the couple days before
He did,
that
true.
did go in, but he didn't hit the rim at all. So I don't know. That's crazy. It was probably one of the craziest moments of your career that you like can't control. Right? It has
Yeah,
to be.
100%. I mean,
Insane.
yeah, the game it was great because we went score down the stretch.
It was the best game I've seen in
Yeah.
tournament in so long. It was unfreaking believable. I loved it.
Yeah, and then the ball. I mean, it made it better that happened. It almost made it like
Even
more
more-
fun.
yeah.
in the moment.
That's
it
like
was
one of
insane.
the best first weekend March Madness games you'll ever see, you'll ever get. But yeah, I did pick Troy.
Yeah, bad pick.
That's on me.
If that shot dropped, that's like something you would think about probably every day the rest of your life, which sounds.
Yeah,
I don't
no,
need to be dramatic, but like probably.
We also lost to Iowa, so I'll think about that for the rest of my
Yeah.
life. Unfortunately,
That's just
But,
the way
hey,
the
we
tournament
made it.
goes.
Yeah, but no, you look back on this and say we went to the Sweet 16. It was the
That's
best year
exactly
ever.
right.
You don't
Yeah.
look back and say we lost to Iowa.
We got the tournament win. That's
Got 2 tournament wins.
that's what I wanted my legacy to be left at, was at least that.
You did
And
that
we got 2.
on your way out.
Yeah.
You're gonna be remembered for that forever. So you're good. Don't worry about it. I'll make sure of it.
Did
Right,
it?
yeah, thanks.
I know this doesn't help. I'm sorry, but you guys knew you were going to beat Illinois. Did that make it even harder versus it being like a team you hadn't seen before? The fact that you were like, we have another team we've already played twice waiting for us if we get.
You say we knew we were going to beat Illinois?
I mean, like you knew.
I don't
you
know about-
obviously not that you
I
knew
don't
you were going to
know.
beat them, but like
we knew we were going to beat them.
They-
but-
you were a tough matchup for them, and
Jamarcus
you
hit
were
that
up in
first
the
shot in the
second
first
game,
game,
too.
and I
Yeah.
was like, I cannot believe Nebraska won this game. This is crazy.
No, they could not guard you in that first game. In the second game, they were really good in the second half.
They were really good.
But as in just how crazy would it have been to have 2 teams you had
Oh,
already played
yeah,
twice
it would have been nuts. I mean,
the second weekend. Yeah.
Anyways,
Yeah.
we picked Troy and we're sorry.
That's-
So
I'm sorry.
Thanks
You're
for coming
forgiven.
on.
I'm
you're
sorry.
forgiven.
Thanks for coming.
Yeah.
I'm-
Sorry,
and
Nebraska
They said
GAs.
I have to go to PBA next year to make up for it. I said, okay,
Yeah,
fine.
You'll enjoy it.
Good deal.
Yeah.
I'm making sure you're there, though. Oh, it depends
Yeah,
where you're playing.
I'll stop by.
All right, fair enough. Sweet.